Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to the racing line for round 4 of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. We are back, we are live, it is Monday, Easter Monday, if that's what you want to call it, and we are ready for another night of racing action. Here we are. Now, who have we got in chat? We've got a couple people in chat already, people cheering on Jesus before the nights even began. Love to see his fan club in the chat. It's good to see. So Road Atlanta, here we are. You can see the track map there. It's 4.06 kilometers. There's about 12 corners. It is the full course. Loads of hills, loads of S's, and we have our 25 drivers out on track today. We are going to be missing Martin Wallace, a notable standout from the previous rounds, is not going to be here today, but I'm sure he'll be making a prompt return in the following round. Just to show you what you've missed so far, here we go. So there you have the Volkswagen Cup schedule. We have had round 1, round Charlotte, round 2, round Lime Rock, and round 3, round Watkins, and today round 4, round Road Atlanta, and of course next Monday, next week, we are around Okayama on the 12th of April before the all-important massive round around the Nordschleife on the 19th of April. There you can see we have 12 rounds of this championship. We're nearly a quarter of the way through, and these drivers are making it hard for me to keep track of everything, to be honest, because it's so close out there. A lot of good racing, very much so. Very much good racing, if that's good English at all. You can see here they're still in their practice session. There's 5 minutes left of their practice time. Jesus forever. Thank you, Bentist, for your comment on Twitch. So we've got a few people on Twitch, a few people watching on YouTube. Thank you all for joining. So as I was saying, it's practice at the moment. There's 5 minutes left, so this is the perfect opportunity. Let's go over what is happening in this championship so far. So after 4 rounds... Now, bearing in mind, Joshua Germany forever, that's Germo rooting for himself there, ladies and gentlemen. Not self-centered in the slightest. You've got this, Josh. I'm sure there are other people rooting for you. Don't worry. It's not just you. So here we go. Championship standings after 4 rounds. Now, remember, in the 12 rounds, there are 2 drop rounds. So some people might have missed a round already. For example, Stephen King, once again, congratulations, who has just moved house, missed last week's round, and that dropped him from 1st down to 5th in the order. But this is what the standings look like at the moment. John Bailiff on top with 143 points, equal with Joshua Germany, also on 143 points. How did we choose who goes first there? John Bailiff has a win under his belt after Jake Cranston got a penalty last time round. He won the sprint race, did Jake. However, after contact with Charles Rainford, got himself a 5-second penalty, which isn't too bad, really, considering. However, how close is the battling out there? Too close. That 5 seconds dropped him down from 1st to 9th place in that sprint race. And that meant John Bailiff inherits his first win of the season. So that puts him ahead of Joshua Germany, who hasn't quite got a win yet, but he has got some podiums, has Pulsar Esports Josh Germany. Jake Cranston still in 3rd place, 139 points, only 4 points behind. Jared Kaler, the top American driver at the moment, 115 points there in 4th place. Stephen King, Charles Rainford right behind. Donny Alpha Henriksen in the top 7. Ryan Smith, the youngest driver in P8. Henry Morse, the next American driver in Pulsar Esports, 96 points in P9. And Ray Oliver, our only Australian driver for JP Simsheds in his lone team, 93 points in 10th place. So a cracking effort from him. 11th, Christopher Smith for ORD, the second ORD driver there in 11th place. Andy Fox, Morgan Burkhardt in 13th. Martin Wallace, who's not here today, is in 14th currently. Kieran Dempsey, our Irish driver, in 15th place. Ika Lequay had a cracking round 2 rounds ago. Ran out of fuel last time out, though. So hopefully he won't be doing that today. Oliver Teglus is down in 17th place. Sebastian Holmichael in 18th. Let's flick that over to have a look at the rest. We've got Jeremy Agard there, 37 points, 19th place. Dan Thornton, 20th. Orlando Herald, 21st. Jesus Amundere, there he is, people. He had, what's up, Cadared? What's up, my nerds? He says, Mondays are a whole lot better since this Jetta Cup has started. Thank you, Valdez. I'm glad I can entertain you on this Monday evening. As I was saying, Jesus down there in 22nd, but he had a cracking race for the first time, really, last time out. So hopefully he's going to be repeating that. Tyne van Wittenbauer in 23rd, 22 points. Christian Ribeiro, 22 points. And Jan Weiswanger on 22 points. So extremely close down there at the bottom end of the field. So some of those will be looking to gain. Peter Jones had his first points out there last time round, 26th place, as did Thomas Burling with 18 points. A good points haul for Thomas there on his first time out. And Peter with 19 points. Jack Lewin, who retired from the championship, still has his 12 points from round 1. And of course, Samuel Tully and Esben Kimjan round off the field in 29th and 30th place, currently with 0 points. Esben Kimjan is here today. He will be looking to get some points on the board. We do have a teams championship as well. Comeback is real. Go, users, go. We'll see. We'll see how far he can climb up. As I was saying, a teams championship. So you may have noticed that all of them were driving as part of a team. Let me just fix that as the standings shot right up above the screen. Let's refresh. Where have they gone? Let's put the standings back up and then get the team championship back up. There we go. That's fixed it. There we have it. So Pulsars Esports currently leading the way. That's Stephen King, Joshua Germany and Henry Morse with 350 points. But Win It or Bin It are absolutely not letting them get away with it. This is John Bailiff, Andy Fox and Martin Wallace in second place. We've got ORD, that's Chris Smith, Ryan Smith and Dan Thornton in third with 232 points. Meatball Lovers in fourth. Masters of Talk currently in fifth. They're going to be looking to jump today for sure after Jeremy Agard had a little bit of a poor week last week, but he'll be looking to improve. Lurchus Gaming currently in sixth. They're going to be moving upwards. 12 points. Welcome, Jack Lewin. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Good to see you again. Jody Parker, excited, hands up. FC Barcelona is playing for Win La Liga, but Amundre is playing for our life. That's why I'm here. Go users. Rooting for Stephen King is Bentis22. It was my favourite. IT. Oh, there's the Stephen King joke. Every time. Every time. All Sports Racing in 7th place. That's the All-American team. 109 points. And JP Simsheds in P8. But let's not forget, each of those teams has 3 people in it, whereas JP Simsheds only has the 1 driver. So doing a cracking job, actually, to only be... Whoa, someone's gone flying off. To only be... What's that? 9 add 7. Help me out, people. My maths is terrible today. It's 16. 16 points behind the 3-men team. So not bad there from Ray Oliver. And it looks like practice has just finished. That's perfect timing. We've gone through the standings. Thank you, Jism. Yeah, 16. I got there in the end. And look at that. That's a cracking view of everyone driving out of the pits at once. So that means let's get that music off and let's hear some of these diesel engines go round. Who is leading the way for these people? Look at them all come flying out the pits. So qualifying has begun. We have 8 minutes of qualifying. And they're all going to be on track. There seems to be something missing there on the side of the screen. Yeah, qualifying it is. Away we go. So we are currently on board with Ethan McVeigh. You see a load of cars behind him there. Look at them all. Fighting for position already in qualifying. This is not really the way to set the fastest lap time. I'm sure they're all going to be fighting for track position, that all-important track position. There's 8 minutes to set the lap. I wonder if anyone, I'll tell you what we can do. Let's have a look at the track now. Has anyone got decent space to set a lap? As we can see, Charles Rainford and another all-sports car there pull over. So these guys are playing it smart, trying to find a bit of space. There's 2 Pulsars cars back there that have left the pits a lot later than everybody else. So there's a big train. I think that's Jake Branson out in front. So he's going to set a lap time. There he is. So he's already crossed the line by himself. So he has completed his outlap. So Jake Cranston going to be the first to set a lap. I'll tell you what, we can jump on board with Jake. And let's see how he's going. That is going to be we want this one. There we go. So here he comes, flying down the S's here. Can't see any purple sectors yet from anyone, but obviously this is everyone's first attempt, so it's flat out all the way down here, over to the left, back over to the right, big quick dab on the brakes, down to 5th gear, chuck it in, and then look at this, it's all the track on the exit. Bumpy, it's much better on Twitch, and yet people are watching on YouTube. Your sound is quiet because of the game audio. Let's turn that down, you can't hear me. Let's sort that out, let's turn these guys down and me up a little bit. Is that better, people? Thank you for your comments. Race audio is a lot higher than me. Thank you, Jism. And that's why Salim was saying on Twitch. There you go. All I hear is screech. That'll be the tyre squeal of Jake throwing it around Road Atlanta. So he's down the back straight now. He's only got 2 more corners to go. Oh, Benny's checking Twitch as well. Tell me how that is now. Be better off upgrading those tyres. They do need some better tyres. Here they go. Chucking it into the chicane. Left and right. This is a good lap from Jake by the looks of it for his first attempt. Uses all the track on the exit. And now it's flat out. All the way down here. Into the right-hander. And across the line. There we go. So that is his first lap time on the board. And it's a 36.9. Now that is an absolutely cracking first attempt. Did not see 36s that much in practice on Thursday, to be honest. So that's an amazing attempt. Ray Oliver there's crossed the line. He's 7 attempts back. Let's get their best lap times on the board so we can see what is everyone doing. Look at the gap. Jake Cranston has had an amazing lap time. Let's have a look at the Pulsers boys. We know they've got a gap. So this is Joshua Germany looking forward. That's Stephen King up ahead and Jared Kaler just behind. So these guys slipstreaming each other. At the moment, Jake Cranston untouchable. Although Ryan Smith posts in a time. He goes second fastest. Only 2 attempts back now. Look at that gap, it says Still Basilisk. Indeed. That's the tyres he was using. Michelin's. No, actually, that's incorrect. False advertising. Pirelli tyres the Jettas have got on, to be honest. So where are the Pulsers boys? It doesn't look like they've gone up on the board. So I wonder if they've invalidated their laps somewhere. Maybe they got a 1x. Now, a 1x means that they've gone off the track somewhere or cut a corner. And the easiest corner to do that on is this one right here. That right-hander that Josh has just chucked it round. That curb is going to be one to watch in the race as well. People will be cutting that left, right and centre to try and gain time. The in-game penalty system will give them a 1x, of which they are allowed 24 before the game gives them a drive-through, as Josh goes extremely wide on exit there. Go on, Jake, Ellen Brown says. So Ellen is cheering on Jake Cranston, who's still currently on pole with a 2/10 lead. John Bailiff, 3rd place, 137.4, and Ray Oliver, 137.7. With Jan Weiswanger up there in the top 6. Esben Kim John, look at that. We said he was looking for points. We did not expect him to jump straight up to 4th in qualifying as he gets knocked down to 5th now. Donny Alpha Henriksen crosses the line with a 137.3. Now the times are coming in. Peter Jones, what an attempt from him in 6th place. Charles Rainford goes 5th. Kieran Dempsey goes 4th. Now people are starting to set the times. Thomas Berlin and Agard down there in the 140s and 41s. Those guys are going to need to try and get up that order for sure. Now we're currently still on board with Josh Germany, who hasn't set a time yet. Stephen King there, you can see his name. He's gone green, so he's set faster sectors than previous, but no purple sectors. Where's this going to put him? So he's just crossed the line there. 37.5, that puts him in 7th place. Joshua Germany crosses the line. Where's that going to put him? Has he got a 1x as well? He still hasn't set a lap time. That's going to be frustrating from him. Jake Cranston's probably just having a nice little cruise around. Because his pole time, his first lap time on the board, is still up there in the fastest place. Look, and what amazes me is how close these guys still are. Kieran Dempsey, let's have a look. Where's Kieran? He's there, so he's in a little train here. You don't really want to be this close. The slipstream, of course, has an effect, but when you go into the corners, especially, look at that, 3 wide into the chicane up ahead. That's Charles Rainford and some of the Lurchus gaming cars. Let's have a look at them going into the chicane. That's Jeremy Agard, Christian Ribeiro. Oh, they get extremely close. This is only qualifying, boys. This isn't the race. Save this for much after, as we see Charles Rainford coming round the final corner now. Here he goes. He's going to cross the line. Is he going to improve from his 37.5? Doesn't look like it. It hasn't registered if he has. Jake Cranston into the pits now. 1 minute left of qualifying. It looks like our qualifying order might be set unless some people put in some last minute blinders as John Bailiff. Look at that. Straight up to P2 with a 137.0. Save this for much after. They got 2 races left yet. Still Basilisk. And they're already battling into the final chicane. It's all about lap time. Joshua Germany unlikely to get a lap in here. This is going to be a hell of a qualifying from him. Henry Morse is not out there at the moment. There's Joshua Germany posting his first lap time of the day. That was his banking lap, a 1:38.3, down in 17th place for Joshua Germany. So his aim for today is going to be to get to 12th and maybe have a good feature race. Jesus Amundere, Jan Weiswanger and Ika, 12th, 13th and 14th. In the 37s. A lot of people in the 37s, actually. Second, down to 14th. All in the 37-second range. And then Andy Fox and further back are in the 38s with Christian Ribeiro and Thornton in the 39s. And that is qualifying over. I want to watch you compete against these guys one day, please. To be fair, a few of these races, I would have loved to have joined in, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't shout into this microphone and concentrate on the close battling that these guys have been having at the same time. Too unfair. Definitely losing mid. Jody, there's no point. Why would you want to watch the Jetta go even slower than you see now? Banter from Still Basilisk. Nah, maybe. I'll tell you what, maybe in week 13, I will organise a race and I will join in. But that's way after the championship is done. That's what are we on now? Week 4. That's like 9 weeks away. 8 weeks away. So, qualifying order. Let's go through that. Not that way. I want to do it properly. With the grid. There we go. Oh, it's disappeared. Come back. There we go. So Jake Cranston puts it on pole. 0.064. John Bailiff right behind him. Chris Smith and Ryan Smith lock out the second row for the ORD boys. Cracking qualifying from them. Alpha Henriksen 5th. Stephen King 6th in the end. Kieran Dempsey 7th. Charles Rainford 8th. Esben Kim Jan top 10 for him. Peter Jones in the top 10 as well. Ray Oliver 11th. Jesus Mundere in 12th place. The next guys, Jan 13th, Ika Lequay 14th, Andy Fox 15th, Thomas Berlin, Joshua Germany, Sebastian Hall, Michael Orlando Herald, Christian Ribeiro, Dan Thornton, Jeremy Agard, Morgan Burkhardt and Jared Kaler rounding off the top 24 with Henry Morse in 25th place. I can't actually see Henry Morse, so I am not sure if he is still out there, to be honest. I don't know if he's had a Wi-Fi issue, but I'm sure we will find that out at some point. Maybe he will rejoin at some point throughout the race. Can you play with mouse and keyboard? No, well, technically you can, but I'm not sure I'll have the pace of these boys as the lights come on. Here we go, ready for a grid start. Look at the grid going all the way around that final corner. 4 lights, 5 lights, and the green lights are out, and away they go. John Bailiff getting a much better start than Chris Smith there, and Ryan Smith looks like he's going to have a move on him as well. Ryan goes straight up into 3rd place from the start. All the Jettas heading down to the fast right-hander of turn 1. We're going to need an overview of this, as look at that. That's Donna Alpha Henriksen round the outside of turn 1. He's going to gain a position on Chris as well. So Chris having a terrible start. Stephen King now getting close into the right-hander as they come down through the S's. All looking clean from these guys so far. Oh, no. Well, tight racing, but clean racing. 2x2, they go through the S's. There's contact there between Joshua Germany and one of the all-sports cars. That's Orlando Herald as they go behind the trees, and we can't see anything as they come through the left-hander. Joshua Germany's definitely got damage there. Andy Fox going wide. Ika Lequay going wide. And Ika going past him as well. So Josh not really making any gains. And there's contact there between Ika and Josh again. We've seen these two clash race after race, and they're still side by side as they come through the right-hander. Ika not letting this position up, but Joshua Germany fighting in proper hard. Look at the scrape down the side of that car. And now look, that's Morgan Burkhardt in the all-sports car. He's going to make it 3 wide coming down this main straight into the chicane. Who's going to get this position? Who's going to be leading after lap 1 in this train as everyone else is single file slipstreaming down the main straight? They're still 3 wide. Morgan Burkhardt's going to have the outside line. Ika better see him there because there's going to be contact if not, and there it is. There's the crash. Morgan Burkhardt spins him round. They both go round and into the wall, and out is Morgan and Ika. That's a little bit clumsy from those two. At the moment, I'm going to put the blame on Ika Lequay, but I will watch it back at the end of the race to see more detail. It's just a little bit of lack of awareness. I'll tell you who's going to be laughing at that. Joshua Germany is going to come out well ahead of that little battle. I tell you what, someone else went off track there that we didn't quite catch. I wonder if they got caught up in that crash. Oh, Thomas Berlin nearly got hit by Morgan Burkhardt. He cuts the chicane, gets it back on track, comes off that way. He doesn't hit anyone, so that's a good effort from Thomas Berlin there, avoiding all of that action as Ika goes into the pits. But I'll tell you what, Donny Alpha Henriksen is up into P2. Let's see how he got past John Bailiff. This would have been a pass round the outside of turn 1. Look at him go. Is he going to commit again? He loves turn 1, Alpha Henriksen. Round the outside. He's going to have the inside for the short left. And he gets that move done nice and early. Cracking move there. Alpha Henriksen up into P2. Chasing Jake Cranston down for the lead. Look at the train of the leaders. We see this time and time again with these boys. No first sprint race. Things you hate to see, says Valdez. That'll be about Ika going off. And there you go. I can't even keep up with chat because there's too many comments from still Jism and the boys. So I'll tell you what, drown out their comments, people, with your cheers for your favourite driver. That's what we need to see. Jake Cranston with a 1.2 second lead, and then Alpha Henriksen, the head of this big old train. He's up 3 places, is Alpha Henriksen. So he's having a hell of a race. We don't want to be watching Jake. We want to be seeing everyone behind him. No offence, Ellen, but he is currently leading the way. Can they chase him down with the slipstream? Jake Cranston needs to be drug tested. Maybe, because he is flying. Like the video, guys. Thank you, Anthony Pryor. Keep pushing a Mundere. Eve says hello. Thank you, Eve. Welcome to this stream. Peter Jones is in the pit lane. I wonder if he's had an issue. I can't see anything, so I don't know if he's got a drive-through or something. Maybe he had a meatball flag from an earlier crash. Nothing has popped up on my timing screens for Peter Jones, though. It just says he's entered the pit lane. But this train, Alpha Henriksen, on for one of his best results, I believe, as he goes off there, comes back on the track. John Bailiff isn't going to let this go, and Ryan Smith right behind him. This is one of the closest battles on track, but Dan Thornton's just made a move on Peter Jones there, who would have just come out of the pits. And Dan Thornton, look at the damage. There's been some crashes back here, but not so big that it's popped up on the timing screens. So I wonder if this has just been small nudges, but enough to give people slight bits of damage and meatball flags. We'll have to speak to Peter at some point, either after the event or maybe even in the interview room afterwards if we have time. But Ika Lequay and Christian Ribeiro, Lurchus Gaming, 23rd and 24th place. The only person behind him, Henry Morse, who's not even here at the moment. He's had a Wi-Fi issue, although he's popped up in white on my screen. So maybe he has rejoined and fixed that issue. But we need to get back up the front. I'll tell you who's looking close to be making a move is Jeremy Agard, right on the back of Jared Kaler for P13. And that is Andy Fox and Joshua Germany as well in the background. So Agard, our Swiss driver, looking to improve on his results. He needs to get past Jared Kaler and the rest of them and get into the top 10. I'll tell you who is nearly in the top 10. For those of you that we know he's got a fan club out there. I mention it time and time again. Jesus Amundere is in 11th place. So he is having a cracking race up there. He's going to get some more points. Like you said earlier, the comeback of the century as Dan Thornton passes Thomas Berlin and Thomas Berlin passes him back. So they're having a little battle back there. And it's through to the final corner. So Dan Thornton's still behind Thomas Berlin. Is he going to pass him round turn 1? He looks like he's dropped back a bit now. That damage proper hindering him. John Bailiff back up into P2 now. We're going to have to see if we can find that. Yes, we can. Here we go. So John Bailiff, it looks like Alpha Henriksen went wide on the exit at the final corner. Just hands it to John Bailiff there, who goes up the inside through the flat-out right-hander, and that move is done. Can he hold it around the outside? No. John Bailiff shuts that door. I'll tell you who else made a move. Was Stephen King up into P5 on Chris Smith, it says here. How did he do that? It's way back behind. It's not, can't even see it. There he is. Charles Rainford, it says he's ahead of there. So I wonder where that is. Did Chris Smith have an issue? Is my timing screen just showing? Ah, here it is. Look. Into the chicane. Gets the switch back. That is the move. Lovely move, in fact. And Charles Rainford follows Stephen King through. I'm glad we found that because that was a beautiful move. Although we have some issues up ahead. As I see Kieran Dempsey tumble down the order a little bit. These guys still extremely close. Battling from second down to... Who's on the back of this train? That's Charles Rainford. So down to 6th. Second down to 6th. Separated by nothing. There's going to be contact here. Stephen King goes around the outside of turn 1. Gets shoved off by Charles Rainford. He's onto the grass. He needs to get back on before everybody passes him. He holds it out there. And he's going to join safely. Keeps his foot in. Carries his speed through the right-hander. And he is well still within that battle with those top 4 train. And he did not let Chris, Ray or Esben pass him. That's pretty much all he could have asked for there. Did Jake Cranston pass pre-race inspection? Clearly a faster car. No, no, no. He is well within his limits, but like Ellen has said, it is one of his favourite tracks, as Chris Smith has had a hell of a run out of there. That means Stephen King's got to slow down. He couldn't serve it through the S's. He has to slow down on the main straight, and he's done that. Esben Kim-Jan flies through and gives him a bit of a nudge for good luck. And that knocks Stephen King down to P9 for this sprint race. 7 minutes in, we're halfway through, and these guys are all still battling. Stephen King's definitely not going to end his race there, as there's someone else being passed in the background there. That's Jared Kaler flying past Jan Weiswanger, who's being passed, and Jeremy Agard is also going to go through there. So he's going to come through, but is Jan going to have slipstream and get this position back from Jeremy? He is. He's used the slipstream from Jared. They're still going to be side by side into the chicane. Go Amundere, only 9 ahead. Yes, Amundere is now into the top 10. But look at this. Jan is not going to give this up. They're going to go side by side into the chicane. Nice and cleanly. Jan doesn't quite get the switch back, and Jeremy is away. He's going to chase down Jared Kaler for 11th place. Chris Smith is in the pit lane. Why are people pitting in this sprint race? There's going to be some questions asked after this. Again, not sure what's happening here. Are people getting black flags? Or are they just... have they not put the fuel in? Maybe they've left their fuel from qualifying. We're going to have some conversations after this to find out. But let's jump back up to these two. Jake Cranston now 3.7 seconds ahead. Unbelievable skills from Jake at the moment. Can he show that off in the feature race after this? So we've got this 15-minute race, followed by a 10-minute break, and then a 25-minute race straight after that with one pit stop. Everyone needs to make one pit stop in the feature race. Hey Jack, good vibes here from the ORD guys. Again, very cracking effort so far. Ryan Smith up in P5, but Chris Smith coming into the pits, and Dan Thornton down there as well, still racing with Thomas Burling. P10 means pole for the next race. Not quite. He's actually currently in 4th place for the next race, so you are right about the reverse grid. The feature race start is decided by this race, but we reverse the top 12. So 12th place currently is Jan Weiswanger. He will be starting on pole for the feature race, whereas Jake Cranston at this rate will be starting in 12th. 10 minutes in, 5 minutes left, as Joshua Germany sends one up the inside of Esbeth. No, that wasn't Joshua Germany's. Apologies, it's because Stephen King caught me off guard. I forgot he dropped down earlier. He sent it up the inside of Esben Kim-Jan into the final chicane, and now he can see Ray Oliver up ahead. I wonder how close he can get in the next 5 minutes, or will there be a big crash between these guys up front as Charles Rainford's going up the inside of turn 1. We know how Alfa Henriksen is round the outside. I wonder if he's used all his tyres. There's a bit of nudging through the right-hander. They both keep it on track. Is someone else going to gain a move there? That's Ryan Smith looking to take advantage. Doesn't quite do it on this occasion, but Ray Oliver has been given the chance to close a little bit up. So Alfa Henriksen loses a bit of a gap to Charles Rainford. Ray Oliver is going to close right onto Alfa Henriksen and Ryan Smith now, as they come down this back straight towards the two right-handers. Here they are. John Bailiff leading this pack still. P2 for John Bailiff, currently our championship leader. Charles Rainford still in 3rd. Alfa Henriksen in 4th. Ryan Smith 5th. Ray Oliver in 6th. And Stephen King back up to P7 at the moment. Oh my god, Jeremy Agard's in the top 10. He's gained 12 places, and Jared Kaler's gained 13. These two have made massive moves to get up there. They've got Jan Weiswanger behind, Andy Fox and Joshua Germany also behind. Believe it or not, those two also gain in positions. So well out of position in qualifying, because we see Andy and Josh up the top end. More so than we do at the midpoint and the bottom end. So these two lacking pace at Road Atlanta, shall we say. But yes, we are... well, where are we? I lost where we were for a sec. We've got 3 minutes left. Charles Rainford up 5 positions to P3, and he's right on the back of John Bailiff now. I wonder if he's been playing the tyre game and looking after his tyres all this time, and now he's just going to have the pace advantage. This track is kind of heavy on tyre. tyre wear, as Ray Oliver here is battling Ryan Smith in the background, and now he's looking to get Alfa Henriksen as well. We've got another tyre saver on our hands. There's going to be some pace differences in the later stages of this race. How is it going to be for this feature race when they've got to do an extra 10 minutes on these tyres? It's really going to show who looks after their tyres the most, as Charles Rainford only 0.3 of a second behind John Bailiff, who's 5 seconds behind Jake Cranston, who's just running away with the lead. But we're looking at Ryan Smith now, chasing down Ray Oliver for P5. He's just had that taken from him, but he wants it back. Alfa Henriksen is up the road, and Stephen King is hoping that something happens between these guys so that he can gain some positions back. As Kieran Dempsey and Joshua Germany are swapping positions back there. Morgan Burkhardt, said that name wrong. Morgan Burkhardt down there is with Orlando Herald in 16th and 17th place, so these guys are getting points as well. Now remember, there's points available for the top 20. Henry here watching on my phone. Power is out and in the neighbourhood for the afternoon. Oh, Henry, there we go. That explains that. So Henry's neighbourhood has been turned off. They knew that you were going to do well today, Henry. That's what it was. They shut you down. There's 2 minutes left of this race. And look at this. Charles Rainford round the outside of John into the chicane. He's got the inside for the next part. And he takes P2 from John Bailiff with 2 minutes to go into the chicane. But we know how strong Slipstream is, as Ray Oliver is also battling back there with Donny Alfa Henriksen side by side around the final corner. Donny absolutely mounting the curb. Now, Ray Oliver around the outside for turn 1. Ryan Smith looking to also gain from this battle. Ray Oliver's not going to give up. They're going to go side by side. Alfa Henriksen on the inside. Ray Oliver's going to now have the inside for the next. There's a bit of contact there. No one gets spun. Nice and clean, nice and fair as they break into the right-hander, mount the curb on the right, and now they come down through the flat-out S's. You can see John Bailiff not letting Charles get out of sight, but he's going to need to push and make that move into the chicane if he wants that place back. He needs to stay on the back of him and hold on to that slipstream, as Stephen King now closing down this battle for these three, as Alfa Henriksen goes right off the track, using all the track available to get the best exit he can. He wants Ray Oliver back. Dan Thornton and Thomas Berlin have had a bit of an issue back there. We can't really have a look at that yet, as 4th, 5th and 6th and 2nd and 3rd are right in a close battle. I want to have a look, but we cannot, because someone is going to make a move. We're coming down the back straight now. Charles Rainford under pressure from John Bailiff. Not the song. Don't start singing the song. Finney McFinger, great racing. It is. These boys are used to it by now. We're on round 4. It's going to be real interesting to see how everyone is in 8 weeks' time when we get close to the final round, because they've been doing nothing but improving, as John Bailiff does not send it up the inside, or is he going to? He tries braking later, gets close to the back of Charles, doesn't quite make it. Alfa Henriksen is under pressure from Ryan there, just behind. Look at that. Who's going to come out on top? He keeps the position. Ryan Smith has to hold off. Ryan's currently in 6th. Stephen King chasing him down. This isn't the final lap yet? No. So now we will be on the last lap, as Jake Cranston is 7 seconds in the lead. But these boys aren't going to let it go. Ryan Smith looks up the inside of turn 1 as Alfa Henriksen goes slightly wide. He's going to have to hold it around the outside of the next corner. Doesn't quite do that. Slots back in behind. They go through the right-hander safely. They're going down the flat-out S's now, as Ray Oliver's right on the back of John Bailiff all of a sudden. So it's not over up there either. Remember, the slipstream down that back straight is extremely strong. I'll tell you who needs a shout-out. Charles Rainford is out for some reason. That better not be a disconnect again. He's going to be gutted if it is. It says he's out of the race. I wonder if he's had a Henry Morse-like issue and he's out. But that will make John Bailiff go up into P2 and Ray Oliver fighting for P2 as well. Alfa Henriksen being chased by Ryan. As I was about to say, who needs a shout-out? Esben Kim Jan is in P7, but we need to have a look at our leader. 7.5 seconds up the road. He's not near the end yet. John Bailiff just behind, getting chased down by these 4 for P2. Who's going to come out on top? Get ready to get those clapping emojis out. The sprint race is nearly over. We're on the final lap. Ray Oliver gets forced to the outside of the chicane as John Bailiff defends. He's going to have to brake later and try and have the inside for the next corner. Look at this, side by side into the chicane. Ray's done it. He's on the inside, and then he's going to go over. We're going to have a look. Alfa Henriksen's coming through as well, as Jake Cranston crosses the line to take the win of the sprint race. Ray Oliver is going to come across the line in 2nd place, and Alfa Henriksen in 3rd. John Bailiff takes 4th, and Stephen King got past Ryan for 5th place. Ryan stays in 6th, and Esben Kim Jan, round of applause for your first point, sir. Give him a clap emoji. He's got his first points. And Jesus in P8. Jeremy Agard, 9th. Jared Kaler, 10th. Andy Fox takes 11th in the end with Joshua Germany in 12th. Jan Weiswanger, a good result. 13th. Christopher Smith down there after an early pit stop for whatever reason. Oh, big crash there from Morgan. He probably knew. Why do people do this? They know they're on stream. And if they're not getting decent points, they'll have a big crash. Big old crash for Morgan Burkhardt there. Let's have another quick look at that. Let's give him the spotlight that he wants. Where is he? There he is. So he crosses the line. What's going to happen next? Did he just chuck it right? Bang. Straight into the wall. There you go, Morgan. That's what you wanted. But, wow. What a race. Let's have a look at the chat. What has happened? Oh my god, 8th. What a great performance from Amundere. Amazing users. P8. He is risen. Congrats to the commentator. You are amazing. Oh, thank you. Good comments. Liz creates clapping emoji. Yeah. I want to take a look at Cranston's car. Clearly something fishy going on. The dream is coming true. Nice clean race in there at the end indeed. There's definitely an Easter joke in there somewhere with Jesus taking P8. It is Easter Monday. Do you know what? I'll let you guys do that because I am too busy thinking about what we just saw with all of those people fighting at the end. In fairness, caught quite a lot of that. That was quite good. I'll tell you who we didn't see that much of. There was a few people we didn't see. Didn't see Sebastian Hallmichael out there that much for the Meatball Lovers team. We saw a few people pit, and I'm still confused why. Let's get a bit of music on in the background. We're now going into our 10-minute break, people. So I will still be here and talking you through some stuff, of course. But you are more than welcome at this point to go and get yourselves a drink. Go to the toilet if you need to. The second race will be starting in approximately 8 minutes time. That's the 25-minute feature race with one pit stop needed. P8 is really good. He had a long weekend. Indeed he has. He's risen. He's come back. And there he goes. P8 straight in the car after disappearing on Good Friday. Now, we can have a look at the results of that race before we have a look at the interview room. I'm sure someone's going to want to chat. In fact, I bet Jake Cranston's waiting after a dominant win like that. But here are the results. Heat 1, our sprint race. We have Jake Cranston an 8.5 second lead in the end, and Ray Oliver taking an amazing P2 right at the end of the race. Saved his tyre as well. That's a cracking result for Ray, actually. He had a big crash last time out in the feature with Martin Wallace, who's not here today. Donny Alpha Henriksen, P3, only 2 tenths behind. Again, a good result for him as well. John Bailiff losing out in the end, but still P4 is a good result for our current championship leader. Stephen King is in 5th place after that, just 9 seconds behind the leader. Ryan Smith in 6th. He passed Ryan on the end, did Stephen King. Esben Kim Jan P7, so his first points on the board and a decent result. Yeezus P8, Jeremy Agard P9, Jared Kaler a top 10 finish. Andy Fox P11, Joshua Germany, not the result he would have wanted. As our current joint championship leader, that's definitely going to have changed now with John Bailiff finishing in P4 and Josh in P12. But let's not forget, I wonder, now, he might have thought that I did not notice this. I wonder if this is tactics from Mr. Germany. I'm saying he doesn't have the pace, or what do you guys reckon? Top 12 reversed for the feature. Has he done this on purpose? Is he trying to get a pole position and a potential feature race win? I mean, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. He's going to have 11 very quick... Well, not just 11. There's loads of quick guys out there. But 11 people that finished in front of him in this race are going to be right behind him. He's going to have 25 minutes to hold on to this in his new pole position spot. Jan Weiswanger 13th. Chris Smith 14th. Morgan Burkhardt 15th. Orlando Herald 16th. Thomas Berlin. Some more points on the board, Tom. Well done. In 17th place, and Dan Thornton in 18th. Let's have a look quickly at the next page before we see who is in the interview room. So Sebastian Hallmichael, there he is. We mentioned him. He's P19. And Ika Lequay taking the last point of today. Kieran Dempsey also dropping down for some reason. I did not see why that was. Peter Jones, 22nd. Christian Ribeiro, 23rd. And Charles Rainford disappearing after getting up to P2 in that sprint race. Henry Morse, 10 laps down, meaning that he didn't do the race because as we found out in chat, and we are, well, I don't know about the chat. I'm a little bit gutted for you, Henry. as your electric has gone down in the area. But we must move on. Stay strong, Henry. You will be back. We're 4 minutes into the break. Great drive. Jerry Agard, go, MOT. That's Masters of Talk. Thanks for the casting, guys. Yeah, boy. Will there be champagne on the podium? Not this time round. I can't afford it. Not yet. Jack Lewin, thanks, mate. Messed up quali, but made up some good places. So people talking in the chat, that is good to see. Let's have a look. There's got to be someone in the interview room. We want an interview with someone. Let's have a chat. We've got a few minutes left. We don't want people to be waiting too long. Charles is in the interview room. Let's bring Charles in, actually. We do want to speak to him because he's right down the order. He's currently got his mic muted, but I'm sure he'll pop up. Charles, P2 in the sprint race, effectively. But then, what happened?
I'm not really sure. I think it might have been iRacing being iRacing. And I happened to get a meatball flag. I thought it was a glitch because the car was still fast, and then it disqualified me. But I must say, big sorry to Steve. I did not mean that little touch at all. That was completely down to me.
Oh, what, round turn 1 was that touch?
That's it, yeah. I thought it was just enough room, and it just understeered slightly. But
yeah.
It was great racing. It was great racing.
It was a good race, and he tried fighting back. I think he got P5 in the end. But I wonder, I mean, I'm going to try and talk to some other people as well, but that meatball flag, like you said, it didn't affect the speed of the car. There was a few people down the order who'd pitted as well, so I wonder if the cars are extra sensitive around Road Atlanta, and a few people, because you're not meant to be pitting in this race, as you chose not to this time round. But there was a few people down the order who did choose to pit. So do you reckon there was a few more meatball flags out there, and what was it from?
Quite possibly. I think it might have been the curb at turn 3. I took that, and then it was that's when it then popped up. So yeah, I'm not too sure, but I was enjoying the race. It's a shame that if the Jetta flag came out slightly earlier, I guess it wouldn't have disqualified me. But yeah, it was great fun anyway, and I look forward to the feature race next.
Of course, yeah, feature race is next, and we wish you the best of luck in that. We're going to have another chat with someone else. Thanks for talking to us, Charles, and good luck in the feature.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Charles there. Where is Jake Cranston? He's not in the Discord. I did want to speak to him. He did have a dominant win there. Ray Oliver is in the driver's room. Let's bring Ray in, our P2 for the sprint race. We've got a few minutes left, Ray. How do you feel after that last couple of laps battle, very close between you guys, and you came out on top in the end? How does that feel?
I'm still trying to figure it all out, to be honest. As soon as Charles got the LDQ, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then with John trying to hug the inside line like his favourite grandma, it was a little bit funny coming into the hairpin.
Yeah, it was a cracking move from yourself. We saw him defend the inside to the final chicane, and then round the outside you went. You weren't scared of it. You had the inside, and then that was it. P2 was, as soon as you, surely you knew, as soon as you had the inside for that second apex, that P2 was secure.
As soon as I knew I was on the outside, and then I could just roll off but still have the overlap, I knew he couldn't come across, otherwise he's going to take both of us out. So it was a case of, I've got the slot, if I get on the throttle before him, there's no way he's going to be on the outside, so I'll take it. Of
course, yeah, and then Alpha Henriksen followed you through for a P3, so John down to P2 in the end. It was a great race, Ray, and thank you for speaking with us quickly. I'm going to let you go back, but I'm losing my words. Congratulations one more time, and good luck in the feature, sir.
Cheers, mate.
So Ray Oliver there, our Australian driver, very early out there for him. 2:30, I believe he gets up in the morning, and then after this, he might have maybe a quick nap, but then he's off to work. Is Ray Oliver? We only have 1 minute left of the warm up, and then they're all going to jump on the grid. So I'm not going to drag anyone else in for an interview. But there are people already out on track. Look, this is meant to be a cool down for these guys, and they're all already out there, still driving around. I can see some lap times on the board. How would you feel? Chat, anyone in chat? How would you feel after a 15-minute race like that? Oh, do you know what? I've just seen a message from Henry Morse. None of the electrics in my house work. No Wi-Fi, no computer, nothing. Great time to work on the electricity, boys. And he sent a picture of someone on a crane outside his house, I assume, messing with the electric wires. Extremely unlucky. Just shout at them, Henry. Just shout at them and say, oi, mate, I don't know why I did Ray's accent there. Get down. Give me my electric back. Ellen Brown, stressed and sweaty. That is a good answer. I think I would feel the same. Jodie Parker mentioned earlier about me racing these guys. I'll tell you what, what's not... Trust me from experience, this is not an easy championship. And that's not just me saying it. These guys are extremely fast. All of them. They all deserve their place here. They all fought for this place. We had 60 apply. And then these were our top 30 after doing some practice events. So they are definitely proven. And here we go. We are ready by the looks of it. And this is our grid. Well, we need to change that. We need to see who's on pole first. There we go. So Joshua Germany, as I said, is on pole position. Andy Fox is going to start second. Jared Kaler third. Agard fourth. Yeezus starts fifth. Esben Kim Jan sixth. Ryan and Steven seventh and eighth. John Bailiff ninth. Donny Alpha Henriksen 10th, Ray Oliver 11th, and Jake Cranston, as I said, is going to start in 12th place because he won the race dominantly. Jan Weiswanger 13th, Chris 14th, Morgan Burkhardt 15th, Orlando Herrell in 16th, Tom Berlin starts 17th, Dan Thornton 18th, Hole Michael 19th, Ika in 20th. It looks like it's gridding time. The lights are on already. Joshua Germany on pole, 4 lights on, 5 lights on, and here we go. They are off, and it looks like Andy Fox has had a cracking start on Josh there. Is he going to hold the outside around turn 1? Josh isn't going to want him to. He's tried getting this pole position, and he breaks later into turn 1, does Joshua Germany, and he holds it. He holds the line, and now we can start to see everybody as they come flying round the turn 1 as we go into the right-hander on the chopper cam, and Joshua Germany now has a clear lead with Jared Kaler right behind Andy Fox as they come down the S's now. So we can see that. A nice clean start from the boys. I can't see anyone gone off behind. Oh, as I say that, Jan Weiswanger takes a nice little cut there. He needs to be careful because he will have a slowdown from that. And he needs to serve that on the straight rather than through the S's. Otherwise, he'll cause a crash. I hope the boys behind are aware of that. Because if he breaks on the straight, then it could be dangerous for Orlando Herrell as he goes around the outside. Look at this, Jan Weiswanger not making it easy for people to pass. Charles Rainford's coming through after his issue. Everybody going round. As I said, he did have a slowdown. He didn't serve it in the S's, but he didn't make it easy for people to pass there as we go back to Joshua Germany, who's currently in the lead, but he is under right pressure from Andy Fox, Jared Kaler and Jeremy Agard. He's going to hold the inside. This is going to be a lot of pressure for him. 25 minutes. We're only 1 minute 20 in, Joshua Germany. And you've got 3 wide into the final chicane on lap 1 of this 25-minute feature race. And Andy Fox is going to try and hold it around the outside. Jared Kaler's got the inside. Joshua Germany makes it through the middle. Jared Kaler survives, and he's got Jeremy Agard on his inside. Josh is going to look up the inside of Andy Fox. Doesn't quite pull it off. Andy shuts his nose off and gets that position. Jesus, it's feisty on lap 1. Jeremy Agard looks like he's going to miss out a little bit there. And Stephen King, I can see, has popped up. Where's he come from? He's going to be in P5 at the end of this lap. He's on the inside of Yeezus and Mundere as they come round turn 1. And Esben Kim Jan's there as well, looking to fight his way through. But Andy Fox takes the lead of the race with Joshua Germany right behind and Jared Kaler not letting this go. Josh absolutely clouting that right-hander. There was a bit of contact behind. I wonder if that was just someone braking too late. We've got Yeezus and Mundere chasing down Stephen King, who can see up ahead the top 3. Stephen King having a cracking start there, getting up 4 positions up into P4 already with 23 minutes to go. So now Joshua Germany under pressure from Jared, but he doesn't want to let Andy go. He's going to have to fight for this position. As I can see, Ray Oliver's gone off track somewhere, but he's still in P9. So it looks like he's come back on safely and is still racing. Jake Cranston's gone off track. Sebastian Holmichael's gone off track. So Jake going down the order there. Is that a big crash for Jake? Let's go have a quick look on the replays. Jake Cranston here. Where is he? He's on the left-hand side there. Oh, Ray Oliver and Alpha Henriksen. It was 3 wide into turn 1. Synchronized, drifting, and off he goes. So Ray Oliver there still on track. Jake Cranston, it's not turn 1, sorry. That's the double right-hander at the back end of the track. So Jake Cranston is still in the race, though. Doesn't look like he lost out too much, but synchronized drift. Well done, you two, for holding that. They're still in the race. As Joshua Germany has taken the lead back from Andy Fox. Let's have a quick look. Up the inside it was. We've had a crash. John Bailiff is tumbling down the order. It's a big crash. If we stay on board with this, we should see it because John is around this area. No, he's not. Look at this. Joshua Germany up into the lead. We need to see what happened to John Bailiff there because it looks like a big one. I said it was the last replay. Oh, it was contact with Jesus and he's round. No, and then he gets a big touch from Ray Oliver in the end. So John not having the best start to his feature race this time round. Our championship leader, that is. There's been big crashes across the board. And it looks like John had a blown engine there. Thomas Berlin's had a big crash as well. As you can see, his bonnet is completely missing. And there's another crash. It looks like he's missed the pit lane there. What's he doing? Who knows? Maybe his steering wheel has broken. Let's go back live to see the racing action. John Bailiff coming out of the pits, following Ray Oliver. So let's see what they can do. Thomas Berlin may be out of this race. Let's go back up to the top four as Stephen King. We just catch him there. Got the inside of Jared Kaler. Big nudge there. Jared Kaler goes off. And now he's going to be under pressure from Esben Kim-Jan for P4. So Stephen King up into the podium position, chasing down Joshua Germany and Andy Fox, still leading this race. Is Andy going to sit behind him now and play the patience game now that he knows Stephen King is on his way to the top two? It doesn't look like it. Andy moves out to have a look up the inside. Is Josh going to defend it? Not this time round. He's confident he can outbrake him, and he does. Chucks it into the right-hander. Little nudge there from Andy by the looks of it. Gets away with it. Both of them get through safely as I see Alpha Henriksen making moves back there. Look at this side by side on the final corner. Morgan Burkhardt round the outside of Alpha Henriksen round the final corner. It's flat out through here. This is a difficult place to pass and Morgan just cuts in front. Definitely got his spotter on. That was nicely judged from Morgan there. Just cuts in front, but look who's in the purple and green machine. Charles Rainford up the inside of Alpha Henriksen. Into turn one they go. And Alpha Henriksen goes wide and on the grass. And that's going to be a lot of positions lost for Alpha Henriksen as he comes back across. He's going to get a slowdown because of how much he's had to cut. He rejoins safely, or kind of safely, just in front of Chris Smith there. Chris might not be happy about that. He cannot serve the slowdown through here, Alpha Henriksen. He needs to wait until the straight, which means it's just going to be up and up and up and up, and he's going to have to let Chris pass on this section. Is he going to do it? He should hold the right-hand side of the track and lift off. He's going to the left, I think. He should have a slowdown. There it is. He lifts off. There we go. Chris goes through. Kieran Dempsey goes through. We said it would happen. It happened. Joshua Germany now. This is going to test his mettle. Stephen King being a horror story to the other drivers. Indeed. Go Gadget smokescreen. That might as well be what they say when they blow up their engines. The new smoke model, I've got to say, I love it. Because it does try and force people to slow down for yellow flags. Although some people still, to this day, choose not to. As Morgan Burkhardt's under pressure from Charles here. Charles Rainford being forced to the outside of the chicane. We've seen a load of side-by-side battles into the chicane. This is amazing stuff from these two. Charles looking like he's got the move done early. Morgan's broke extremely early. Ryan's going to try as well. Ryan Smith, he doesn't quite have the inside for the next bit. And that is Jake Cranston getting the switch back on Ryan Smith there. Up into P9 for Jake Cranston. Morgan Burkhardt still P8 and Charles Rainford is gone. And away he goes to chase down Jeremy Agard, who's on the back of this train, being led by Joshua Germany, your pole sitter for the feature race. We are 7 minutes in already. Can you believe it? 15 is the best position, really. Who's in 15th? Jesus Amundare, after his big tangle with John Bailiff early on, who's currently down in 22nd place. Ray Oliver down there as well, and Thomas Berlin, who we saw trying to mount the wall in the pit lane for whatever reason. We'll have to have a look at that after the race. Look at these 5-6 cars in the lead battle, and it's only going to get bigger as Charles Rainford brings the rest of the train forward. Jared Kaler looking around the outside of Esben Kim-Jan there into the double right-hander. Is he going to get that done? Easily done for Jared. He moves in front before they've even made it into the corner. So Jared up into P4 there to now chase down Stephen King, who wants to get past Andy Fox as much as he can. Two Pulsars cars in the top three. Are they going to work together? Do you know what? I doubt it, because Stephen King needs a win. Can you believe we're in round 4, 6 races in? Stephen King, our championship favourite going into this season, still hasn't had a win. Is today the day? He's just moved house. We're 8 minutes into this race now. They're going to go 3 wide into the chicane this early on. This is a brave move. Stephen King backs out, thinks better of it. Josh Germany under pressure from Andy Fox once again, going round the outside. Doesn't get it done. Josh breaks nice and late and holds it. Stephen King now has the inside for the final corner. He's going to get that move done easily. He's up into P2 is Stephen King, up the inside of Andy Fox, and Jared Kaler's going to look to try and follow him through. Look at this. Jared being extremely optimistic. He's going to have the inside. No, Andy moves over. He has to tuck in behind. So turn 1, single file for everybody. Andy not quite getting the move. Esben Kim Jan still in P5. Cracking race from him if he can finish there as well, because he's going to get a lot of points. He hasn't got any on the board so far, but this is going to be his week if he can just hold it and not get involved in any crashes, as we're still on board with Jared Kaler in the middle of this train. Charles Rainford putting pressure on Jeremy Agard now. Look how close they're getting through the S's as Esben bounces over the curve on the grass. That's going to unsettle him into this right-hander, and that, as I said it, there he goes. He loses a couple of positions, but he holds it. Well held, Esben, but now you're under pressure from Morgan, who goes across the grass, and Jake Cranston went to the left. Wow, that would have been good from his view. I wonder if we can... oh, do you know what? I really want to see that from on board Esben's car. I wonder how I can have a quick look at that, as I can see the boys up the front. Look, Stephen King is going to make a move for the lead. The two Pulsars boys, I can't look at any replays, people. Passing the grass, exclamation mark indeed. I can't look at replays because they're just constantly fighting. The Pulsars cars, side by side down the main straight. Jared Kaler's going to tow with Joshua Germany and got the inside of Andy. Andy defends late. Good defense there from Andy Fox into the final chicane. He breaks late as well. Stephen King round the outside of Joshua Germany has the inside, and Andy Fox is going to follow him through. Josh Germany tries moving over. There's a bit of contact there. He can't get over in time. Andy firmly has the inside line for the final corner. Joshua Germany somehow still comes out on top. There's a nudge there between Andy and Jared Kaler. Look at this door bang. It's like touring cars around Road Atlanta. I'm not sure if any of the Americans watch British touring cars, but this is what it's like. Maybe with a bit more contact, but we know what iRacing can be like. So it's good that these boys... Charles Rainford, no, not free wide into the right-hander, surely. As he barges his way through, Andy's going to... Oh, it's going to be tight through there. Charles is still round the outside. They're touch. Andy Fox is round. Charles is going to try and straighten him back up. Is he? They're going into the wall. Andy's in the wall. Charles is also out onto the grass. That's going to be unfortunate. I don't want to judge it too early, but that could potentially be a penalty for Charles there. Because of how close they were. But as I said, we look at all the incidents after the race and we will mention it in the next round. Alpha Henriksen up into P10 with Jesus and Mundere right behind him. That's a shame for Charles. He was up 15 positions. Kieran Dempsey is up 13 positions into P8. Morgan Burkhardt up 9 positions. He is in P6. That's the move we saw on the grass. That's a proper touring car moment indeed. Ryan Smith has stayed where he is. Jake Cranston is up 7 positions. He's now chasing down Jeremy Agard, the other Masters of Talk car. I don't think Jeremy's going to make this too difficult for Jake, or will he? I don't know. Let's find out. They're going down towards the chicane now. Jeremy Agard does defend. I'm surprised about that. Oh, no. Maybe he just moved over to let him through. Yeah, that didn't look very difficult for Jake, and away he goes to now chase down Jared Kaler, who is on the tail of Joshua Germany. He's going to try and have the inside for the final right-hander. It's going to be tight through there. Josh doesn't like giving up moves like this, and Jared Kaler's got that move done. Josh nearly goes onto the grass. They're still side by side down the main straight. It's not a very long straight. Can Josh hold it around the outside of turn 1? He's going to need big cojones to try and do that as they touch. Jared Kaler touches. They touch. Joshua Germany gives him a bit of a nudge. That's a bump and run if I've ever seen one. Another touring car moment from these two, and he takes P2 back from Jared Kaler as they go into the S section. I wonder if Jared's going to retaliate from that. He's going to give as good as he gets. I'm sure there's going to be a bit more nudging from these two as the field now is starting to spread out. But I'll tell you what I have noticed is there's some people into the pit lane. Remember, they need a pit stop in this race. The track map is now on your screens, so you will be able to see... Oh, I need a breath. Amundere the Spaniard, the Spaniest of them all. Where is Amundere? He's in 9th with Ika Lequay in 10th. Good points for Lurchus Gaming if they can stay there. Ray Oliver's back in 15th. John Bailiff is back in 16th. As we see a bunch of guys jump into the pits. We're approaching the 13-minute mark, so we're past halfway. And it means that pit stops are going to be coming up as Stephen King, look at the lead he's pulling now. So Joshua Germany firmly the rear gunner in this situation. Jared, it's time to get the big girl panties on. He's going to try and do it around the out. Oh, another touch from Joshua Germany there. These two are getting extremely feisty. Can Jared make it around the outside? That was a big touch from Josh. I wonder what happened there as Jake Cranston is now getting involved and the other Masters of Talk car. These guys are going to have to start thinking about their pit stops. Someone's coming in. It's Jake Cranston. He's thought about it. He's seen how feisty these two are getting. Smart move from Jake there. He's not going to be involved in this battle. He's going to come out in clean air. air, and he's going to try and gain in the pit stop phase. But these guys haven't pitted yet as Jared sends it up the inside of turn 1. Has to force Joshua Germany to back out. And there it is. Joshua Germany loses the position. Good move from Jared Kaler there. He didn't retaliate, and he got it back fair and square. Joshua Germany now losing out down to P3. Jeremy Agard right behind him, and Morgan Burkhardt P5. Cracking race from Morgan. And Kieran Dempsey's up there in P6 with 3 Lurchus Gaming cars next to each other on track. Look at this. Well, not quite close to each other, but they are. There's the other 2 right next to each other. Jesus Amundere, Ika Lequay, Christian Ribeiro, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the standings in the feature race. We need to see some pit stops. How many people have pitted? Because I'm completely lost on who has pitted and who hasn't. There is a way to do this. I forget it every single time. There it is. There we go. So you can see, as makes sense, most of the people from, well, the people from Orlando Herald down have stopped. John Bailiff with 2 stops because of his earlier crash. And he wouldn't have made it to the end if he didn't make a second pit stop, which is unfortunate. Red flag to stop the race right here. Nice Lurchus to see how the pits deal with them. So, top 10, still haven't pitted yet. Stephen King, 3 seconds lead. Jared Kaler's making a move. He's up the inside. Sorry, Joshua Germany's making a move back because Jared already had it. Can't get it done. Jeremy Agard's watching it all happen. Stephen King, though, rubbing his hands. The gap just extending. Jared darts to the pits. He comes down the pit road. They have to stay on the path here. They have been warned in the briefing about cutting the grass because it is manageable. Stephen King stayed out. Look at this. He's going round by himself. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who's also staying out. Jesus Amundere is. Ika Lequay's gone in the pits. So Jesus is going to pass all of these people. He's up into P2. There you go. That's what you wanted to see. Pit party. But Jesus Amundere getting that TV time in P2. Where's Joshua Germany going to come out? With Jared Kaler. Who's going to have the fastest pit stop out of these boys? You can see Jake Cranston. I'll tell you, he was one to watch. Where is he? I can't catch his name. There he is. He's coming round turn 1. Has he done them all in the pit stop phase? There's Jared Kaler coming out of the pit exit. He can see him. That's P4. Joshua Germany's been absolutely mugged in the pit stops. But Jake Cranston side by side with Jared Kaler. He holds it around the outside of the right-hander. And he does. He gains P4, does Jake Cranston round the outside of Jared as he comes out of the pits. Jake Cranston now a net P4 from Jared Kaler. Ray Oliver, also after a stop, is in P6 with Chris Smith and Ryan Smith, the ORD boys, together in P7 and 8. Joshua Germany really losing out in that pit stop. I'll tell you what that is. He's flustered, he's panicked, and he's ruined it. This movement was for the sponsors. P2 Amundere. Jesus used less gas than a Clipper. Oh my God. You guys. It's good to see his fan club, and I hope you turn up every week because you keep the comments entertaining. Of course, feel free to jump in chat, people. I know the racing is intense. I do have a quick glance every now and then as Stephen King, your leader, comes into the pits, which means Amundere will shortly follow. And Orlando Herald also hasn't pitted yet. He's in P3 at the moment. Is coming around the final chicane, so he will be pitting this time as well, I imagine. We're 17 minutes in to this race already. There's not long left. But we need to focus on Jake Cranston, who is coming around the final chicane now. He's going to come around the final corner. How much has he closed the gap to these lead 3? You can see their dots on the track map. They're greyed out as Jake comes around the final corner. It looks like they're still in the pit. Stephen King, you can see the wheel spin. So Stephen has just left the pit lane. There he goes. Jesus Amundere hasn't actually stopped yet. So Stephen coming out the pit exit now. Where is Jake Cranston? There he is. It's very close indeed. The 3-second lead that Stephen had has gone right down to 1/10 of a second. And Stephen defends into the right-hander and doesn't get taken like Jared did. But now the pressure is on for the lead. Everybody has pitted. Attention in P1 indeed. Jake Cranston. What a strategy call from him to be in this position now after earlier contacts. He's right on the bumper of Stephen. And Stephen yet hasn't had a win, but he's going to want this so much as he defends the inside of this right-hander. There's 8 minutes left, but there's so much slipstream available. This is going to be difficult as Ray Oliver gets shoved out wide and has a big bump onto Jared there. Oh, that was a hard break moment from Ray Oliver. Jared might have damage from that, and Chris Smith and Ryan Smith are going to win from that little touch. These two are going to have the run. I wonder if Jared's going to lose both of these places as they come down the back straight now towards the final chicane. It looks like Jared's still got some speed, so maybe Ray actually helping him keep that position. All Ray has done there has lose himself potentially 2 positions, but it depends what happens into this final chicane. It's 2x2, 4 of them going into 1. Is this going to work? Jared's going to try and outbrake Chris. Chris gets it turned in. Extremely nicely done. Christopher Smith up into P3 for ORD. Ryan Smith slotting in between as well. So Jared Kaler losing out there. Wow. Oh, I don't know if the racing's going to be like this in Simlab this week, but if it is, it's going to be exciting stuff as the battle behind is getting feisty as well. It's Joshua Germany now back up into P7 with Morgan Burkhardt right behind him, and Kieran Dempsey and Jeremy Agard also fighting. So Kieran Dempsey's well in the mix for the top 10. Remember, double points for the feature race compared to the sprint race, so this is really where it counts. Every point counts, of course, but when double points are available, if you think about it this way, 24 points for the win in the sprint race. Stephen King currently on for 48 points if he can hold this position with Jake Cranston 3/10 of a second behind him. Oh my God, who's going to win? Get your predictions in now. We've got 5 minutes left. Put in the comments who you want to get P3. And I know that some of the guys are going to say Jesus and Mundere, but let's be realistic. He's down in P14 at the moment, guys. And he's more than 10 seconds behind the leader, I believe. So out of these I reckon the top 6 have a chance. And I don't want to discount the 4 behind, but Joshua Germany is the cork in the bottle back there. He's proper holding him. You can't park there, sir. He's just blocking him completely. Joshua Germany defending hard for that P7. But Stephen King under pressure from Jake again. Look, Jake's going to the inside. This is a move for P1 early on as well, as there's 5 minutes left. But look at this. Oh dear, I've got an email there with someone following on Twitch. Don't do that too much. Stephen King loses out that position to Jake Cranston, but there's 5 minutes left. I wonder if that's tactical from Stephen there. He's lost the position. Chris Smith is still P3 and chasing down this lead battle. Those 5 are definitely fighting for the lead. You need to... I can't see any names yet, people. You got 5 to choose from, I reckon. Jake Cranston, Stephen King, Chris Smith, Jared Kaler and Ryan Smith. Who is your winner for today? I'll tell you what we need to start, actually. We need to start having a driver of the day, as Ray Oliver's in the pits for a second pit stop. I wonder if that's a meatball flag for Ray Oliver from the contact earlier. It has to be. He's tumbled right down the order after such a good race in the sprint. There he goes down to P22. He's down with John, who also had an earlier crash. Stephen King trying to hold on to Jake Cranston, who's currently in the lead. Joshua Germany has actually been passed by Morgan Burkhardt there. Morgan's up into P6, so he's got past the cork of Pulsar C Sports driver Joshua Germany. All Sports Racing now up into P6. Orlando Herald down in P20, the other All Sports car, and Sam Tully not here today, but I'm sure, or I'm hoping, that we see Sam make a return with his work commitments putting him off for now. Love your channel, man. You've gained me 1,000 IR in the past 6 months. Now that is a comment. That is a comment and a half. 1,000 I rating in 6 months, and that is pretty much how long the channel has been going. Well, a bit longer now, actually. I think we're approaching 9 months as we started in June-ish, June, July 2020. Jake Cranston, I mean, I feel like I've had a little breather now, because Jake Cranston is not actually under that much pressure from Stephen King right now. And it's going to be a bit frustrating if he can't get it. Look at the headlights coming on. It looks like the sun is setting here at Road Atlanta. They look beautiful in the sunset. The little white headlights coming over the hill as they fly down the S's. I said Stephen King wasn't putting him under pressure. I lied. He's still right there. He just needs to get his head together, cool down, and use that slipstream as Morgan Burkhardt bounces over the curve in the background. It was interesting what one of the drivers said in the interview, as Jesus looks like he's going to make a move on Jan Weiswanger shortly. Can he get that move done for P12? Someone said that they attacked the turn 3 curb too much and got themselves a meatball flag. That is interesting. I didn't experience that in testing. But it does mean that anyone that was cutting that too much runs the risk of having to pit. As Stephen King is 6 tenths behind Jake Cranston at the moment. This is one of the closest battles out there. Charles Rainford also chasing down Joshua Germany. But let's stay on board with Jesus and Jan Weiswanger as they come round the 2 rights. That was Peter Jones there in the background, making a move on Dan Thornton round the outside. Dan on 2 wheels around the right-hander. Nice one, Dan. And now he's under pressure from, there's that Ika Lequay in the Lurchus Gaming car. Coming down the main straight, I say the main straight, the back straight, which is twice as long as the main straight, maybe even 3 times as long. Who's going to get the slipstream from Peter Jones? Ika Lequay slots in front. Dan Thornton going down the order. Esben, he was up there earlier, is now down in P14 as Charles Rainford looks like he might have had a bit of contact there. Sounded like a crunch. Went off track. Let's see if we can see what happened there. It's with Joshua Germany again. They come into the next part. Oh, Josh is just sticking his nose in places that he has no business being. Charles, lucky to still be in the race there. That's going to be investigated for sure. As Dan Thornton, I believe, has just made another pass on Peter Jones. So these two properly going at it. And there's the battle with Jesus and Jan Weiswanger. Esben's going to make it 3 wide up the hill into the left-hander. There's only 1 minute left, boys. I can't focus on you too much as we're approaching the last lap. There's contact there between Esben and Jesus, but Jan Weiswanger staying on top. Good move there from Esben. And the 2 Lurchus gaming cars are now next to each other as they come through the S's. And that's the ORD of Dan Thornton and Peter Jones back there. So they're joining this little train. Jesus looking to gain those positions. Goes right off. Uses all the track available. Ika Lequay, who's going to be the #1 driver for Lurchus Gaming. As Esben's making more moves. He goes up the inside of the right-hander up ahead. Can he get that done? Yes, he can. He's got it done before the next right-hander. Cracking move there from Esben as we come now with our leaders down the back straight. This should be the final lap, and it doesn't look like Stephen's close enough. It would have been his final attempt as the clock hits 25 minutes. I haven't been told about the white flag. It is the checkered flag. This is the final lap, and Jake Cranston comes round the final corner and takes the win of the feature race. Stephen King with a P2, Chris in P3, Jared P4, Ryan P5. P6 goes to Morgan Burkhardt leading this train. Jeremy Agard with a decent result in P7. Joshua Germany there. Kieran Dempsey, Charles Rainford and Alpha Henriksen also in that top area. Esben coming out on top in this battle. And the 2 Lurchus gaming cars side by side as they cross. Amundere leading that battle in P13. Jan Weiswanger losing out in the end. Dan Thornton had a good little race back there with Peter Jones. Andy Fox. Not such a good race for Andy this time round as there was contact earlier on. Orlando Herald, not sure what happened to him, to be honest, as we can hear people crashing. John Bailiff had a bit of a nightmare, but he does collect the final 2 points on the board. Christian Ribeiro takes 21st. Sebastian Hallmichael, didn't see him much today, and I do not know why. That was Ray Oliver, wasn't it? Or whoever had that late DQ. Hi, Louise. Jake to win. Well, he is my son. Jake did win. Nice race and nice comments as always from all of you indeed. Well, that was exciting stuff, actually. Very exciting stuff. Let's just scroll this up a little bit. It is interview time. We know it's interview time. Great, Caster, I will be back. Thank you very much. We are live. I'll tell you what, whilst you say that, I will show you this, just to get that on the screen. We are live every Monday. Every Monday at 8:20 UK time, that is. And, of course, the clocks did move, so be careful with that little trick. We should all be used to that in the next couple of weeks. But round 4, Road Atlanta was today. 12th of April next week is Okayama. And round 6, the Nordschleife. That's going to be an interesting one. It's a hell of a lap. 8-minute lap time. It's only going to be a 2-lap and a 4-lap race, I believe. As I am going to jump into the interview stage. It's interview time. And just before I get any of those, actually, let us have a look at the results. The results are available. Let's get them up on the screen. Good race. Well done, drivers. Thank you, Liz, as always. Thank you for coming in and commenting in the chat. And there is your final result. The feature results. Jake Cranston takes the win of the feature. Just 2 tenths ahead of Stephen King, who is still looking for that first win. Jake just ruining his little dream today. That's unfortunate. Chris Smith gets a podium, 6 tenths behind. Jared Kaler in P4. Ryan Smith in the top 5. A great result for Morgan Burkhardt in P6 and Jeremy Agard in P7. That will move them up the championship order, I am sure. Joshua Germany comes home in P8 in the end. He wasn't feeling comfortable today, and it has shown in the results. Kieran Dempsey, P9. Charles Rainford in P10 in the end. feisty battles, actually, for that area of the grid. Donny, Alpha, Henriksen, P11, Esben Kim Jan, some more points for his first points finishing weekend. He did do last week, but he got 0 points, and this week much better for Esben Kim Jan. Jesus Amundre and Ika Lequay, 2 Lurchers gaming cars together in 13th and 14th. Jan Weiswanger in 15th, Dan Thornton 16th, so some more points for Dan, and Peter Jones in 17th, Andy Fox 18th. And where's the next page? Get that next page up. Where is it? That's not it. That is just disappearing. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Orlando Herrell grabs some points. 421 for All Sports Racing. 19th place. And John Bailiff, as I said, takes the last 2 points in 20th place. Christian Ribeiro, Sebastian Hall, Michael Ray Oliver, Thomas Burling and Henry Morse down in 22nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. With 0 points for the feature in the end. Now, that was a hell of a race. It's a cool down. Great racing all round though. Awesome work by Chris. 14th to 3rd indeed. That was a tense last lap. Show us the Masters of Talk rear window banners. I could try that. Let's see who's in the interview room. I will hide the results. Let's go and jump in for a chat. Oh my god. We got 5 drivers in there. And I'll tell you who's in there this time. He wasn't in here earlier, but he is this time. Your feature race winner, Jake Cranston, P1 in the feature. How was that?
I don't know what just happened.
You don't know how you got the win?
I mean, yeah, I put in a lot of effort this week to try and be fast, and I guess it paid off in the end.
It did pay off indeed. I'm sure we had a comment about it being one of your favourite tracks. Is that true?
Yeah, I do love racing it here on iRacing. I just love the undulation, and the S's especially is pretty fun.
I mean, it was a hell of a race, and it looked like Stephen King he wasn't going to let that go easy, as he still hasn't grabbed his first win yet for this season with 4 rounds in. And it looked like you just didn't want him to have it this time round, and you ended up getting him. And he just couldn't put the fight back to you. It was 2 tenths of a gap when you crossed the line, so it was close. But how was the pressure from Stephen King there in the end?
I was trying to break the toe on him down the straight. I was lucky when we got past. He was really good, gave me some space on the outside to get through. So that was good racing from Stephen. And then I just had to try and pull a big enough gap so we didn't have a slipstream, basically.
It was a cracking race, Jake, and well done. Congratulations on your win. Before I let you go, as usual, is there anyone you want to say hello to or thank you to before I grab someone else?
Yeah, so thank you to my girlfriend, my mum, my dad, and Ali and Dave are also watching, cheering me on, I believe. So thank you guys for watching me.
Indeed, we had a few comments for you, Jake. Well done, and we look forward to seeing what you can do at Okayama. So we'll see you then. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Jake Cranston there, your race winner from the feature. What a result. I'll tell you what, I do want to keep the results up there. Not just for the viewers, but so that I can remember what happened, because it's always so close out there. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So we've got a few more people in there. Let's have a quick chat to Christopher Smith, who was also on the podium. He finished in P3 in the end, and it was another great race for you, Chris. Tell us how that was from your point of view.
Tell us what happened. Was that? I didn't hear you.
Yes, yeah. Tell us how your race was.
Unfortunately, got a meatball flag. Got a bit of a shunt up the backside, and got called into the pits. So unfortunately, my race 1 results were scuppered, obviously pushing me all the way back down the grid. P14, I think it was for this race.
Yep.
So I managed to keep my nose clean for the first part. And pit strategy. That's all it is.
Pit strategy was important this time round. Yeah, you came out right in the fight for the lead. I think before the pit stop, Stephen King had about 3-second lead. But then when everyone had sorted out and finished their pit stops, you guys, Jake Cranston and a lot of you, just right behind him on pit exit, and only 4 tenths away from him in the end, Chris, so nearly a P2.
Yeah, I think we were all really close to each other at the end, though. I mean, even P4 and P5 were just half a second behind. So I think any move there would have been quite quickly a 3-way rather than a 2-way. So we were all kind of just keeping our nose clean, I think, towards the end. P3, I'm very happy with.
Yeah, of course.
Podium.
And that, yeah, good. First podium indeed. What was your highest result before? P4? Because you've had a good result before, haven't you?
Yeah, I think P4 in a sprint race maybe, but this is my biggest point haul.
Definitely. P3 in a feature race is a massive points haul. And it's interesting you say there, actually. You said about, you were obviously conscious of the guys behind. So Stephen King, yes, he was right there in front of you, but you had Jared and Ryan right behind you. So are you thinking about that constantly in the race? Are you knowing full well that when you do commit to a move, it has to either be pulled off, or you are in danger of losing 2, maybe 3 positions in the end? Are you thinking about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I actually had a bit of foresight earlier in the race. Something happened where, obviously, you probably saw Stephen King got overtaken by Jake Cranston, and they were at that point about 2 seconds up the road, and I was really worried about having lost the draft, that I'm going to get mugged. And they'd make this pass down at the bus stop chicane, and all of a sudden I'm back within 0.8 of a second of them. So we're back in the draft, and I was, thanking my lucky stars that happened, because obviously this back straight being so long, draft is a main way that people are going to get past you. So I thought, any move like that is going to cost me time. I'm not likely to make it pay. So yeah, unless I was hoping for a last lap accident, you never know. Somebody has a little whoopsie daisy on the last lap, which can often happen, but didn't happen this time. But P3, so very happy.
It definitely can happen. Well, congratulations on the first podium, Chris. Well deserved. And off to Okayama next. Just before I let you go, is there anyone you want to say hello to or say thank you to?
I don't want to sit here and reel off a whole bunch of that. I always hate when they do that on the radio. But obviously, the whole group of guys, I mean, it's keeping this racing thing going. It's amazing. This season you guys have set up, and also all the crew involved. Thanks to my long-suffering wife, obviously. She has to put up with me sat on iRacing most nights. But other than that,
well, good.
Thank you very much, guys.
No, thank you, Chris. We'll speak to you again soon. Well done.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
That is Christopher Smith there. Cracking race from him. Really nice guy. Long-term follower of the channel, actually. He was here. We mentioned it in stream. He was here from the start, early on. Definitely pre-300 subscribers. Very early on. So Chris, a long-term subscriber, but doing extremely well in the championship. I do want to grab, he's not in the waiting room, but I do want to have a quick word with him. It's our P2 finisher in the feature race, up 6 positions. Stephen King, 2nd place on your first race back. Are you, I can sense though, because I know you, I feel like I know you well. Is there a bit of disappointment there about your P2?
You can't help but feel disappointed. I know I shouldn't be. And it's so close. I thought the duck. I was going to break the duck, but no, I wasn't today. The quickest driver won today.
He was quick today, Jake Cranston. And it looked like, at first you had Joshua Germany behind, and he was being a good sort of cork in the bottle for the strategy, and you had about a 3.5 second lead at one point. Can you tell us, from your point of view, as we know, it's pit stop strategies, but how did you know it was going to be that close by the time the pit stops came around, or was you kind of caught by surprise?
Oh, I was mystified as to how Jake was that close. I'm going to have to play my strategy for what Josh said. He said that this is going to be 21 laps.
Oh.
It's like, what? So that was a slight miscalculation. So I thought, we're just going to fuel halfway. And I didn't realise I was in the pits. It was a 19-lap race, maximum. And so I massively overfueled. So that's what's costing me here today, really. But that's from lack of preparation. Circumstances that we've had moving out.
Of course.
But to get, like I said, when you take it all into account, I shouldn't really be disappointed with where I finished, really.
It's interesting you said that, actually, because we didn't catch that. We didn't notice. We just assumed that pit stop strategy was what brought it closer. But you're saying, quite rightly, there's a bit of confusion sometimes on how many laps there are, and it looks like you took Joshua Germany's word, which we'll put up for debate on how smart that was. But you've got to take a positive away from that in terms of, it's lack of preparation, and if you can get your fuel strategy right next time. You may have came out a few seconds in the lead if you'd taken less, like you said. But so next time round, surely you reckon you can do this? It's Okayama. There's braking zones. There's corners. Good chances.
It's got to happen eventually, hasn't it? I mean, I keep finding myself at the right areas, on the grid. So it's got to happen eventually. I mean, but again, I have to go back. The quickest guy won today, and he deserves all those points. But it must also be said, he says it's a disappointing race. It's my biggest points all yet. I think that was so. Yeah, I think it's a 55 or 56, and this week I've got a 58. So there's consistency there, but it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out when we got the drop rounds coming in towards the end of the season. You can't really count your chickens at all yet, can you?
No, that's right. That's right. As soon as the drop rounds, so round 11, really is the first time we're gonna see that even take hold. But I mean, it's great to speak to you again. So P2, congratulations, it is deserved, and look forward to seeing you at Okayama. Is there anyone you want to say hello to? Anyone you want to thank?
Well, again, thank everybody who stuck around and watched, and thank you for your continued support.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stephen. We'll speak to you soon.
You take care, Jack.
Someone who has been in the interview waiting room, we'll normally draw it there, but I do want to have a quick chat with him. He's been sat there patiently, nice and quietly. Jared Kalo was our P4 finisher in the end, in the feature race, so a lot of points. Jared, you lost one place from the start. Can you call yourself disappointed though after a P4 in the feature, or do you think that's the maximum you could have gone today?
I feel like I probably could have gotten up to third, maybe second. I think Jake was obviously the class of the field with the heat and feature win, so I think he was the guy to beat all day long. But I definitely felt like I had speed for second and third, but just kind of got mixed up with some stuff there, and kind of just ran out of time to really get back to them and try and make something happen at the end.
That's right. But P4 is a decent point score, especially in the feature. You actually just said, I forgot that Jake had won the first race, and then I believe he had pole position as well. So that's the first Grand Slam we've had for the season. But like you said, it was quite difficult to catch today. But you must, so you found yourself at the sharp end now a couple rounds in a row. So you must be sort of aware of where you are in the pecking order, and it's a good place to be. You've got Okayama next, some difficult corners around there. Are you feeling confident?
Not at all.
Oh.
Okayama's, I do not like that track at all. It's probably one of my worst tracks, so it's definitely going to be a challenge to get around that place in the race next week.
Of course. So we got a week of preparation though, Jared. So we look forward. Maybe we'll see you in the Thursday practice. But thank you for speaking to us. Just before I let you go, is there anyone you want to say hello or thank you to?
Just want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in, and then for you guys for putting on the race, and look forward to getting back at it next week.
Perfect. Thank you for speaking to us, Jared.
You're welcome.
And there we have it. Jeremy says, I'm leaving the league. Great stream. Congrats. Thank you, Mr. Bueno. That is pretty much all we've got time for there. I keep forgetting to change cars when I'm talking to people. It was Jared Kalo we were speaking to there in the pink car. But yes, that is pretty much all we've got time for. Great stuff, Jack. Hopefully see you on track Wednesday for the SRL practice. Yeah, I'll remind me on the day and I'll jump in for that. But as usual, that is pretty much it from me. So I am going to leave you with the offline screen. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're well on our way to 2K, and we need you guys to help out with that. And it's great to see your continued support, and we thank you very much for that, of course. And as usual, if I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace.